It gives me great honor to be here today before you, and thank you, class, for giving me the privilege to represent you today and to say something to you. And my deepest desire is that I can communicate something to you that you can take with you, hopefully, not only tonight, but it would be a stretch, but maybe for the rest of your life. So, dear esteemed guests, leadership, faculty, and staff of ESMT, the board, family and friends. Actually, I want to pause on family and friends because they really made this MBA. Can we clap for them, please? Thank you, family and friends. And the fantastic MBA class of 2017, welcome to graduation. All of us pressed pause to come here. Jobs were resigned from, incomes were sacrificed, friends and family were left. The familiar was exchanged for the unknown. Whatever trajectory your life was on at the time, you consciously changed course and set your sails for ESMT Berlin. The decision was probably not easy, and maybe some relationships were even strained, but you chose to come anyway. Think back to the day that you signed that contract committing to come here. What was on your mind? Finally, the day arrived. You were going to Berlin. Pretty soon, initiation ensued. You met your classmates and quickly realized you were not the smartest person in the room. But that did not matter because you were going to spend the rest of the year with smarter people. And that was good for you. Joining the infamous WhatsApp group chat was a rite of passage. Thanks, Daniel. The trip to the castle laid the foundation for robust friendships and motivated all of us after near-death experiences trekking through the snow. Moods were high and excitement was in. You were finally a legitimate MBA candidate. Think back to that night in the little cabin restaurant where we sat and talked and laughed after a maddening 12-hour trek through the woods and snow. What was on your mind? Well, Module 1 came along, and your senses were lit on fire. Professor Francis stoked the fires of learning with his crazy stories that made most of us laugh, some of us cry, and all of us second-guess ourselves. It was simply fantastic. Group discussions were engaging, projects were thrilling, and the MBA was exactly what you thought it was going to be. You came to class on time, you never missed a second, you basked in Yuri's questions and Bo's comments. Motivation was off the charts. You were unstoppable. Now think about the first assignment you and your group did. What was on your mind? Well, days turned into weeks and weeks into months. The campfire by which you were nurturing your thoughts was now a furnace. Information was coming faster than Daniel could score a goal at the kicker table. Long days stretched into longer nights. And if it wasn't for das ESMT schließt in 30 Minuten, that's the lady that kicks you out, by the way, at 11:30. Some of you might have made this place your home, kind of like Zenko did, right? Speaking of home, Victoria fed most of us, right, by ordering those Asian noodles at lunchtime. Complete lifesaver. Thank you, Victoria. Berlin's cold weather did not help much, and Jean-Luc can testify to that. Nevertheless, some classes made you laugh, but more were making you cry. The workload was heavy. For some, family was the thing that you did only on weekends, because that's the only time that you had. You were being forged in the fires of learning. You were being refined into the outstanding individuals that you are today. Think back to those tougher days when you were stretched to the limit and you did not think you could make it. What was on your mind? Summer brought much needed reprieve for many, except Julio, who was practically on summer break since March. Is he even here? Is Julio here? Oh, here, he's here, okay. IFS was for most the International Feast Seminar as you traveled through the world and you took a deep breath into new perspectives through looking through different lenses. The group chat got happy again with pictures of Ankur and Harsh doing what they do best. I won't mention that right now. And videos of Chencho and Georgia dancing the salsa. There were many days at the beach and nights with friends and family. Smiles were back in fashion, and so was the sunshine in Berlin. In those warm, beautiful summer nights, what was on your mind? Electives came along and interest peaked. You were finally learning the things that you really wanted to learn. Networking was the buzzword. You went to all the career fairs, met some of the most influential leaders in Berlin at the master classes. Some of you made more LinkedIn connections than a train from here to Munich. The finish line was now in sight, and the consulting projects were the only thing that were keeping you from graduating. Job hunting was the topic of the season. Offers came for some, interviews for others, and contemplation for the rest. Time to reap from your labor was fast approaching, and reflection on what you had accomplished over the year was a constant friend. Mixed feelings flooded your mind. Where would you end up? What would you do? Had you achieved your goals? Had you built the friendships you had wanted? What was on your mind? And now as you sit here today, dressed up and dignified, celebrating with family and friends, and reflecting on all that you have accomplished, thinking of all the great experiences and challenges you have gone through and the connections and learnings that have been made. Here as you stand or sit on the precipice of the rest of your life, looking to the future and the almost endless opportunities before you, right now, what is on your mind? I wager hope. Now, I know hope is not an MBA typical word. It sounds too mushy, right, and groundless. It's not the kind of thing you can plug into an analytical model to predict the net present value of an investment. And that's fine. But hope is nevertheless an indispensable virtue. It's the force that motivates us to keep learning, to keep pushing, to keep reaching for greatness. When you think of all the great people in the world that have achieved great things, the one underlying connection with all of them is hope. Yes, the tools that they used to realize their hopes and their dreams were factual, hard, analytical tools, the same that you have been given over the course of this year. But what drives us and what motivates us to take these tools to make something incredible that will impact our lives and those around us, that is hope. Hope that we can discover something new. Hope that we can end something terrible. Hope that we can alleviate someone's pain. Hope that we can improve the lives of many. Hope that we can leave a positive mark on this world. Yes, that is what drives all of us. As we celebrate the culmination of our learning and the culmination and accumulation of tools, let's not forget that what we achieve with these tools will depend largely on the size and the tenacity of your hope. The tools we have received will only be used as a way to achieve what we hope for. But if we are hoping for nothing or hoping for small things, these tools will not magically transform our hope into great things. There will be many tough days, even tougher than this year has been. There will be many naysayers. There will be many pitfalls, many mistakes, many disappointments, many doubters. I implore you today, my friends, for those days to come, to remember this feeling you have right now in this room, in your minds and in your hearts, that you have been charged and made ready to take on the world, and that you have been made capable to do so. I implore you now for then to maintain all hope and not to lose sight of what you have set out to do. Hope is the end. Hope in the end is what differentiates those that keep doing from those that simply wish. I want to thank the professors and staff and families of ESMT that have invested in us and have not only given us the tools to be successful in whatever we do, but have instilled in us a hope that we can actually do it. So, hope like you have never hoped before. Set your sails for unknown waters. Gear up for the adventure of a lifetime. Take on the largest problems you can find. Hope big and apply the tools you have been given to your dreams and see them come to life. In a letter to his friends, Paul wrote, We rejoice in our struggles, knowing that struggles bring about perseverance, and perseverance, proven character, and proven character, hope. And hope does not disappoint. As you set your hopes on the future, it is my delight to confidently say to you all, and to myself, that you are the future, and the future looks good. Don't take my word for it. I have a few friends that think that this is true.